Hey everybody, it's Dr. Quinn here, and my apologies for the sound of my froggy voice. I'll do my best to make this short. I'm going to do a quick introduction to Week 5. Okay, so under the Week 5 Learning Resources, once you click, you go to Content, you go into Week 5, you'll see that there's one page of Learning Resources here, and then when you click on this, it's going to give you information on resumes and cover letters with some experienced samples and some career changer samples. This is all prep for writing assignment number 5, giving you a little bit of a heads up. Some of you are already in a cybersecurity career and you're coming back to get the degree for forward movement in that career and promotion, but some students are changing their careers entirely. And so there are different types of resumes that work better for somebody with those years of experience and for somebody who's switching from one discipline to another, basically. You'll see as well that there are some APA notes in here, and that would be more helpful for writing assignment 4, and some visualization of data, which is, we don't always want to write data out in long paragraphs. Sometimes tables and charts are better ways to convey information. And so technical writers have to be real judicious about how they convey that data. So you'll notice that you only have this one page, but you've got all different sorts of links and things to look at. And then in Week 5's discussions, we're talking about selecting and integrating graphics into your writing. That is discussion topic number 1. So you've got some data and you're going to assess the quality of the graphics. Not all graphics always work or not all graphics are equal is probably a better way of saying that. So you've got some of those discussions from the learning resources that will help you answer these questions. We've also got this discussion of the effectiveness of AI in writing a memo, and I've got like a demo where I used AI to write a memo, and we're going to get a chance to talk about that as well. So those are the discussions. And remember our policies in this class. The use of AI is allowed as long as you both document it and cite it. You have to set it off with the appropriate color, and then I want to see what type of enhancement you've done. So my strong recommendation is to not use it at all. I think skilled and seasoned technical writers can use it for certain tasks with no problem, but a lot of it depends on what's proprietary information, whether they have like an enterprise, I think that's the right word, version, where they've got sort of like a siloed AI software where the information's it's not pulling hallucinated information from the web. And they need to be able to know how to do the task before they can use AI to enhance the task. So my recommendation is don't do it. But if you do, change the color and leave me a little note, like a little footnote that whatever's in red, for example, or purple was AI and the rest of it is how you enhance the document. Okay, and then cite which AI tool you did use. So for the report to the supervisor, let's take a look at that. We're going to go into writing assignment 4. So I just went to activities and assignments and to assignments, and then once you click on writing assignment 4, you'll see the background information that you need to know, just the scenario and the assignment overview. You'll also see, and I've been mentioning this quite a bit, and I think it bears repeating, that you're going to want to use the rubric as an editorial checklist, meaning that once you've completed a draft of this assignment, you'll go through this and make sure that you've got all of these components that I'm required to grade by. This is an assignment that was created by my supervisor, and so we have to be on that same page to make sure we're assessing all of the students in the class in the same way. So if you have any questions based on any of these categories, let me know. And let's take a look at the situation. So you've been hired to work as an assistant manager for a local laundromat business in Gaithersburg, Maryland. And imagine in this scenario, you either have a cybersecurity background or a business background or even HR background. The business is sort of a new style business where it's like office space with the laundromat. So it's split into 2. You can get that scenario, it's scripted out here pretty in-depth just so you have that background as if you would if you worked at a place for a couple of weeks. You've got a little bit of background on the boss, Mark Carmen. The business was started in 2010, and You will not need all of this in your report, but this is the background, so you know who your audience is. Obviously, your primary audience will be Mark Carmen when you write this report to the supervisor. But Mark may share this with colleagues. And so knowing who who is a player in this situation is going to help you with audience considerations. So that's why you get this history. We've got some information on the setup for the business and all of these different bulleted issues. And please note, you don't have to highlight all of these different issues. The reason there are so many issues is that we tend to have a lot of students in cybersecurity, a lot of students in business, and a lot of students in HR degrees. And so our goal is to help you choose to focus on issues that are still related to your curriculum. And that will allow you to sort of personalize this and do some research in the library databases that's specific to what you've been studying, and to be able to transfer that into a workplace technical document. Okay? So again, you're not writing about everything. Just choose the ones that intrigue you, that you do want to do some of that academic research, and you'll see why there's a problem, and you'll even see it organized with some cybersecurity concerns, with some business practices, etc. Background on your primary reader, that if you're going to talk about issues in cybersecurity, for example, Mark does not have cybersecurity training. This may mean that you have to define terms. Perhaps you create a glossary or whatnot for Mark and your colleagues to follow through on. So that's that first document. And then the second one lets you know the parameters of the assignment. The length is 1,500 to 2,200 words. You must integrate 2 graphics. Note that this document has pieces, and let me show you what that looks like. All right, so, excuse me. So for everything to be really helpful for me, I'd like you to put it all in one document. The first page is going to be your memo, you know, the to, the from, the date, the subject. Imagine the memo's an email and the report's attached, right? You will hear me say that a lot. So you've got your memo, and then whatever the memo is, and I apologize for my gobbledygook here, but just to show you whatever your memo is. And then you can insert a page break. And then the next page, you're going to have your executive summary. And I'm going to recommend that you follow the executive summary that UMGC puts together. I've even got an example of it here. I think that this one is really nice, and I'll include this link. Where did it go? Yeah, okay, so it's down here. So this is a small executive summary. For the length of this document, your executive summary will be less than a page, or about a page at most. You will use headers. Executive summary is your report in miniature. Sometimes your reader will only read the summary and not the entirety of the report. So in a summary, you're going to need to fold in specific data from your research to convince them to make whatever, to follow your recommendations. So you'll see sections set up here with different headers that should map the sections of the report to come. Now, in this example of this executive summary, you don't see problems and solutions, but that's an easy fix. So for your executive summary header, problems and solutions, you'll also see it mixed between prose writing and some listing, some prose paragraphing and some non-sequential listing, some more paragraphing and some sequential listing. And then, of course, some notes about what's going on in this sample. I will include this in my announcement. Note that you'll be required to have a problem and solution section with 3 sources spread out, 3 in the problem section, 3 in the solution section. There you want to show that academic research, and it's very specific to the library databases like we practiced in earlier discussions. This is not Google searching. This is for the library. If you found a really interesting article in Wired magazine that applies, you can use that too, but that would be in addition to these texts, right? Of the 6, at least 2 should come from scholarly or credible trade journals, and then the other ones can be trustworthy.edu or trustworthy.gov, a newspaper article, etc., etc. So there's information on the task. Again, some of this is repeated from another document. But you'll see that the sources not included in list of 6 sources. With your graphics are separate from the research. and some backgrounding on writing this report. The paper's permanent. You've got to know your audience. That's why you got all that background and that overview. You want to chunk your information. You want super long paragraphs. But this is what I wanted to share with you. The report is organized: memo first, then executive summary, then problem, solution, conclusion, references. And this is the heart of your document with those 6 sources integrated. So go through this at length, and then always reach out if you have any questions for me. I'm going to push the deadline of this. Normally it's due at the end of the week, but like writing assignment 2, I want to give you a couple more days. So instead of the draft due over the weekend this week, and then the final due on Tuesday, which I think is a bit short, I'm going to make the draft due by Tuesday. And if you post earlier, you will get feedback from me over the weekend, so you have even more time. And then we'll have the final due, I think maybe Saturday morning, so you even have like Friday night, and then I can finish grading these the following Saturday. So it gives you like a week and a half to put this together. So that's my feedback for you. And if you have any questions, just let me know.